Welcome to Fun Fresh Footy with Pete and Ash. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fun Fresh Footy with Pete and Ash, the podcast with terrible tips, great yarns and zero editing. I don't know how many episodes we're in now, Petey, but
we're getting along.
Yeah, we've got I think the last time we had this conversation, we said we had a back catalogue, but now we've even got a bigger back catalogue. So
it's huge now, mate.
It's enormous. And none of them have editing. It is the 15th of September, everyone. 15 days into spring. The weather's been a little bit dismal the last couple of days, but I've actually taken my studio outside for this afternoon, and this afternoon's put an afternoon on for us, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's quite windy here, actually. It's still pretty gross in Newey, but
it's breezy here.
It's not as bad as it has been the last few days. The last few days have been, shocking.
It's been very wet, very cold, very this isn't like rolling into spring weather.
No, I was freezing this morning. I had double layers and then a dressing gown, socks, slippers, the whole lot on this morning, but it's warmed up a little bit now.
Well, I came off a 2-day work bender this morning and it was freezing when I left work this morning. But it's nice to see the sun back out, hence why I'm outside. I've also just told my parents that I'd quickly shout them out. It is their 31st wedding anniversary today, so the 15th of October, minus 31 years. They were walking down the aisle and, so congratulations to them. That's pretty good effort. It's a good innings, isn't it?
I think you mean September, not October.
Oh, sorry. My birthday's in October, so I was thinking about myself.
I just had a freak out because I was 15th of October. That's actually my mate's birthday and I haven't said anything. And then I was also Penel's birthday is the 16th of October. And I just had a little freak out. I had a little freak out inside and I was wait, no, she's wrong.
I won't be editing that out either. Actually, it is my mum's birthday on the 15th of October too. So There you go. Peter Salter, my good friend, how are you? How has your week been? Spill the beans. Let me know everything.
It's been pretty good. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see I'm also in a little bit of a different studio.
Where are you?
To normal. I'm actually just on the other side of my desk. I've pushed my desk out and I'm on the other side. I have to crawl to get in, but I thought...
I wondered what you were doing where you went before, and I was like, no, she's still there. And then you popped back up again, and I'm like, all right, I
had to crawl out to go and shut the door, but yeah, I've decided I thought the nice plain background is maybe a bit more appealing.
I've got a half door open. I've got the TV. I'm in the smokers area of my house, so...
Normally you can see the TV, the clothes washing pile, my fucking things hanging up. So I thought might go for the plain background this week.
Oh, I miss plain backgrounding it with you.
Yeah, I know. It is. It's been a while.
It's been a bloody long time. It's been a bloody long lockdown. Speaking of what is it? It's the 18th of Sorry, back it up. The 18th of October that we're meant to come out of lockdown, and you're going to be gone, aren't you?
I will be gone by then. Yes.
Oh, so it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while.
I take off on the 26th
of September.
Yeah.
Yeah, beauty. Because that's for your 2-week quarro as well, isn't it?
Yep. So 2 weeks quarantine. But yeah, no, I've it's been all right. Although making this new studio, I sort of had to clean up all the dust and stuff from behind my desk. And as we were talking about a lot of hay fever issues, that really just turned on some
would have been.
It just turned it on today. It was lots of headaches, lots of sniffles, lots of itchies.
Are you okay, but can we proceed this afternoon? And
I am. I'm going to push through. I think we should be fine.
Deliver the best podcast in Newcastle.
It'll take more than hay fever to stop me spilling yards.
I was about to say I've seen you in some states, and hay fever's not going to stop you or bring you down.
No, I won't let it.
No, good girl. What have I been up to? Well, like I said, I've come off a 2-day work bender. I had the weekend off, so enjoyed the sun. It was beautiful on the weekend, wasn't it? It was so hot, getting a little taste of what summer's like.
It was good, although I did a number on myself on Friday night and spent all of the glorious Saturday inside feeling so sorry for myself. So
when you messaged me and you're like, I just had to have a cold bath.
I went, this might be just too much for everyone, but I was like, maybe I'll go lay in the sun. That might like cure me a little bit. It made me feel so bad. Ended up having a little spew in the backyard. Went in to like pour myself a cold bath. I was like, I think I just need a cold bath. And I had this like little period where I thought I was going to die. I had like my head leaning over the sink while the bath was running. But anyway, I jumped in the bath and it actually like did wonders.
It's like a dip in the ocean. Hydrotherapy. Is that what they say? Cold water. Yeah, exactly. Therapy.
But I was just like a little bit too fragile to get myself to the ocean. So I was like, cold bath is going to have to do.
Improvising. I love that. Yeah, I definitely drank a lot of beers on the weekend. As I just mentioned to you, I better let everyone who is listening know that I haven't prepared anything for today. So I'm just winging everything.
Pulling a Peter.
I'm pulling a Peter. So we've actually gone role reversal, unless you haven't organised notes.
I've got a couple notes.
Oh, beauty. I wrote stuff down on my phone, but I also had several beers while the football was on as well. So the football may be a little bit of a haze to me as well.
Yeah, my recollection of a few of the games is going to be a little bit inaccurate.
We played on Friday. Oh, that was
Dawn versus Manly. Yeah, my recollection of that game's pretty going, but we'll get through.
Red hot.
Did you do anything else this week? The week that's been?
Not really. Like, enjoyed the sunshine, enjoyed good company, just drank lots of beers.
Yeah.
And then worked the last 2 nights, and I was feeling a bit flat. And then actually, do you know what I have been doing today? I couldn't really be bothered doing much, but I found the SAS TV show on.
Yeah. Whatever. Is it the one with Sam Burgess in it yet?
Yes, it is. And I'm 2 episodes deep. I can't wait for tonight's one to come out. I've been an anxious mess all afternoon. Like, I've had like sweaty hands, my heart's racing. I'm like, I'd love to do something like this. I'm like, to just mentally challenge myself as I'm like drinking a beer while I'm doing it. I'm like, actually, to be honest, I don't think I could be screamed at by those people.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, just to see how you'd cope. Like, I have no idea how I'd react to it.
Well, I hate heights, and they were doing this like suspended beam thing, like balance beam thing, and I was like sweaty hands and carrying on, and then they had to crawl through this like pipe that was getting like smaller and smaller, and I'm like so
yeah,
I don't know how I would potentially go on that, but look, if anyone wants to sign Peter and up for like some sort of military course or whatever, we'll give it a go. We'll get someone to document it for us, because we won't.
Yeah,
we might have to pay someone.
At the start of this footy season, we did a bit of a like boot camp style situation, which was actually mad. Like, it was so good. We were pushing cars.
Nicola's property, wasn't it?
Yeah, out at Nick's place. We were pushing cars down the road, and we were like in the bushes, carrying people on stretchers. It was good fun. That's
mad. I wouldn't mind giving it a go. I'm weak as piss, but so I reckon
we were dead as after. They got us up at like 5 to get out there and start yahooing. But yeah, but like yourself, I've actually been a bit like flat and weird this week. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but yesterday I did go make some jam drops, which I thought might pick up my mood, and it did a little bit. They're pretty yum.
I would love to try one. I don't really like jam. I know we touched on honey a lot last week.
What's your problem with spreads? What do you have on your toast?
I'm more of like a savoury kind of condiment girl. So like your relishes, your pickles and stuff. When it comes to like jam, honeys and whatnot, I'm more like a butter on toast rather than jam and honey, or Vegemite or something.
Oh, I love Vegemite, and I love jam and honey. I'm a bit of a condiment
Fun Fresh and Condiments. This is where off topic will go. I can see it.
Yeah. I also have a nice little update for our like loyal back catalogue listeners. I know that we've had a lot of yarns on here about return and earn. And after the weekend that I had, I was in desperate need of going to the return. Up. Yeah, well, my tubs were like overflowing, and I just thought, I better go do that. I think I did that Monday. I went to go do it. Went to the one at Katara at midday on a Monday. The line was that long. There was lines of there was just lines of people waiting at the thing, and then I pulled up and I could see there's all these people in their cars with like utes full of cans, just also waiting in their cars, and I was like, I'm gonna be waiting here for like an hour and a half. I went stuff that. Anyway, I went to the. No, you're right. I went to the Hamilton one and no one there.
Where's the Hemo one?
At like where the Hemo Hawks field is, their home ground.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, I went there. There was one bloke, but literally, and also at Katara, they've got the thing where they section off every second one so that you're like distanced.
Oh, so it's going to take forever anyway.
Yeah, the one at Hemo, everything was open. Got it done in bloody quick smart.
I think you got me onto this, but when I was a Merriweather diehard, the Carrington one.
Yep.
Near the pet wash. That was my go-to. That was my local return and earn. Actually, I've never actually done return and earn since living back in Maitland.
I don't know whether I'm there's the same busyness out there.
Well, there's one literally up the road. Like there, I know where I can frequent, but I just haven't been like storing my cans or bottles. I've been putting them away, but I've been putting them in. It's worth doing. As
we've said before, return and earn is worth it.
Even though it's the worst job in the world.
It's the worst job in the world. Once you get it done, it's okay. Like when I got there and there was the lines, I was like, there is no way I'm not doing this return and earn right now because I'll have to go home, take it out of my car. And then,
that's it's just even worse. Half the effort is just mentally preparing yourself to get it into the vehicle.
Yeah. The biggest issue is getting it from my backyard into my car.
Can you go up your little side gate or do you have to carry it?
Yeah. I take it up the side, but they're always heavy and painful. Anyway, I got it done and I got about, my $25 or so. And
that's all right.
I was happy to keep.
That's a lot of
tinnies. Yeah, that's plenty.
Well, if that's enough about condiments and return and earn, I guess. Should we
better bring up some notable mentions?
Let's go.
All right. Do you want to kick us off this week, Pete?
Sounds
Mine are
good.
a bit scat.
Yeah, a few of these are footy, a few of them aren't. Obviously, I just put down that Sam Walker is a king. Like, I know he came on for 9 minutes, but holy hell.
That's all we needed.
That kid's so clutch. Like, he literally just gets in and gets it done. And he's got so much confidence for such a young kid. And, like, I loved that he missed, like, they chased down that, charged down the first attempt at drop goal.
Yep.
And he just came, next set, just turns around, slots one perfectly. Like, didn't phase him one bit. Well, he also chased down that breakaway that at the end of the game, like, energy on energy.
That literally, like, won us the game.
Well, my other notable mention was Patrick Herbert not passing to Fafita or the winger, and that also won us the game.
He had fucking white line fever, little Paddy Herbert, didn't he? He wanted the star.
But then I was thinking, and you know what? I think this is what everyone's not seeing. Everyone's like, Patrick Herbert's such an idiot. He's such an idiot, which may be true. But have we taken a second to think that maybe it was just Tupou being a veteran? He might have given him the eyes, making Herbert think that he could get straight past him. He might have gone like, I've passed you. And then just turned around and folded him. It was like, you thought. Like, he was shooting the eyes out to the winger. He was shooting his eyes out to winger, out to Fafita. So Herbert thought, here's my time to shine. And Tupou was like, I was never going there.
Sorry, no, not today. We're actually like seasoned veterans and we've played oodles of finals football. Not today. Not today, Titans. Yes, I completely agree. I also had Sam Walker on mine and we'll probably touch on him later in the show as well. But yes, he was fantastic. And it's like, I love what Robbo's doing, like bringing him on as not really an impact player, but he is an impact player.
Yeah.
So late in the game. But I also love seeing him out there for 80 minutes ripping and tearing.
Me too. Well. It did sort of save us in a way by having him out there because obviously like he still had that energy to chase down the player that made a break and support Teddy in that defense. So, if he'd been playing 80 minutes, maybe, I still think he would have made the effort if he'd been playing for 80 minutes, but he had all that energy and he had no problem tracking him down kind of thing. But yeah.
Congratulations, Sammy Walker. We love you.
Yeah,
as we love you several times.
Yes. I also had in the Eels game, Moses came in clutch.
Oh my God, I also had that as well. You've taken all my thing.
He had such a good game. Just like he broke the line so many times. It was just like effort on effort. Like,
yeah, his individual try performance was like also
wild.
Like crap as fuck from the Knights. It was like, what the fuck? But yeah, he was on fire. He was playing really good footy.
He controlled the game so well, and he just was like exciting to watch. I was like, that's like really good to see from Moses.
We haven't bagged him out too much this year, have we?
No, probably not. Obviously, also in that game, there's a lot of controversy around the Gutho kick. Everyone was like, rah, he dropped it, which I also understand. I definitely think that is similar. Like, True, but also the ruling is literally says that it is a drop kick because he does have control of the ball. He does drop it. His foot does hit it immediately after it hits the ground. So like technically,
it's right. Yeah,
rules,
but it just
right.
kind of looked. It just looked a bit.
But it is
sloppy.
Yeah, it is a dumb rule. I think. Like who's drop kicking in a game? Who's drop kicking in a game not for field goal?
I know it's just
like
if it hit his foot before touching the ground, different story. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You can definitely see where Knights fans are disappointed. Well, just rugby league fans are just like,
yeah. I mean, at the same time, they were already up by 2 points, so I'm not sure it really would have changed the result of the game. I don't think the Knights were probably going to come out and win it, but yeah.
No.
And then obviously they got a penalty try off that.
Yes, from what was the winger's name?
Tuala.
That scored the hat trick. Holding back a player or something, which was devastating for the town of Newcastle when that happened.
Yeah. Yes. Well, then also it was kind of that all the talk about, buddy. It was kind of a similar situation with Radley in the Chix game, and he never got the same situation. I think it was Peachy maybe that held Radley back, like pulled Radley back, and then he didn't score the try, and then we weren't given a penalty try for that. Which I think he probably remember that. I think he probably would have got there.
Speaking of Radley, but I loved his little chase on
Jared Wallace.
Jared Wallace, yeah. I was gonna say Josh Jackson then, but he bless his heart. He actually played very well for Gold Coast on Saturday afternoon.
Jared Wallace, oh my goodness, that try that he got off Ikavalu's like drop on the line, it just like popped perfectly into his arms, and he was doing the like big front row run over the try line.
He was doing the big front row run when Radley got him as well, and it was like he looked like he was on a treadmill.
Radley looked so quick. I was like, damn, Radley's got some wheels. And then I realized it was only Jared Wallace that he was chasing down. I was like, oh, it's just Jared Wallace.
The big boy did play well, but yes, he's very slow.
Yes. I also had that Dylan Orcott. I know I've been talking about him in the last 2 weeks, but he is the first person in first man in either wheelchair or normal tennis to get the Golden Slam in a calendar year.
Oh, wow.
So a Golden Slams you win all of the opens, the different opens. So he's just won the US Open. So you win all the opens and an Olympic or Paralympic gold medal in a calendar year. And he's the first man to ever do that. Like there's people that have gotten Golden Slams, but not within a calendar year.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations,
mate.
We said that last week, but like he's just a legend. I love watching his stuff on Instagram and whatnot.
Yeah,
like,
he's great. Yeah, he's excellent. And then also some more Aussie goodness. Australia beat South Africa. They had Quade Cooper took the penalty goal on full time, and they beat him by 2 points, I think, in the end. It was actually a really good game. Quade Cooper played so well. I think that they might be now or something. I feel like, unless that was just like some fake article I read, although if it's on Instagram.
Get the kick. Because he got like 27 points or something in the game, didn't he? He got a fair amount of points.
Not 27.
22 maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, it was
we might check that.
Yeah, fact check that one. But anyway, it was a good game and it was good to get the win right on the buzzer. Australia sort of needed a win in the rugby, I think.
He's been do you follow him on social media and stuff?
Nah.
He posts a lot of like real motivational stuff too, but not like cocky and like ego driven stuff. And just like reminding yourself that like the opposition are also training as hard. So like there's no finish line.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't played in the Aussie jersey for like years.
A while. Yeah.
Years now. So it was cool to have him back. And I think he did a really good job. And I also liked at the end when it was that because he'd kicked all the goals so far. And it was a penalty goal, and it was probably right at the edge of his, preferred distance that he's quite confident with.
Yep.
And normally for their really long kicks, they get that Lodge, I think his name is.
I don't know. I don't.
Anyway, and he came over the Hooper was like, "Oh, come over Lodge," and then Quade Cooper was like, "Nah, I got it. Like, I've got it." He'd slotted like a similar one just earlier in the game. He was like, "No, I got it," and he just slotted it, and I was like, "Oh."
It was right down the black dot too.
Yeah, it was beautiful to watch. My last point was fly half. Yeah, he's excellent. And I think that Noah Lolosio or whatever his name is, who's been playing 10, probably just needs a little bit more experience. Like he plays really well, like in not important games. And then when it's like a really important game, he kind of stuffs up the kicking and stuff. Yeah, he struggles a little bit. My last point was another Aussie was Ricardo winning the Italian Grand Prix.
Yes, how good. We've actually had like a lot of good stuff happen in sport over.
Yeah, Aussies are killing it at the moment.
We're doing really well.
Yeah, bloody oath.
Did he do the shoey?
Yeah.
Yes, good work, Daniel. Yeah, so spring's been just turning it on for sport of late, which is, we love to see it.
Yeah,
we absolutely love to see it. Well, you took two of mine. I know we'll probably touch on it in the next bit, but I just wanted to say that, like, hats off to Melbourne, even though I don't like them, but like Manly, like, we've kind of been pumping Manly a little bit up, and like the social media and the media have been pumping Manly and the Trbojevic brothers up, but like they had absolutely no X factor on Friday night. I know you probably
Melbourne were just shutting them down though.
Oh, 100. That's what I mean. Like, hats off to Melbourne. Like, their game plan, like, they just ripped and teared. Pappenhausen, Grant, Cheese, Munster, like, they just knew their job.
Yeah, they all just stood up. Melbourne just, like, get finals.
It's like the Chooks.
Yeah, Melbourne and the Chooks just get finals.
Yeah, they were so good. And I don't know who I was having a yarn with, but they were like, oh, who do you reckon will win the grand final? Like, realistically. And I was like, after Friday night, as much as it breaks my heart to say it, like, and I don't want to see it, but like the Purple Pride, I didn't actually plan
Storm are going to be hard to beat, I think. Like, after 100%. That display, I was just like, they literally have, because they have been kind of low lately, and I was like, maybe someone's going to come in and take it from them, because obviously they were minor premiers and whatever, but they just
they ripped.
stepped it up. They stepped it up a whole level. Like, because Manly was someone that people thought could threaten it, and I think watching that, I was like, damn.
That's why I'm so friggin' pumped for this week, because I'm just like, those bunch of losers in Manly, no hope. I just wanted to touch on the Chooks roster again. So Sam Verrills obviously out for 2 matches now for his shoulder charge on, I can't remember. And
I thought this was such a weak call.
Oh, it was.
He was just like standing there. He doesn't even pop his shoulder in him. He's just standing there, and someone like tackled him.
Yeah, it's
and he kind of just like fell into Sam Verrills' body, and then they're like, no. And I thought at the time, I was like, fair enough, it's a penalty, like contact with the head, but I thought for sure he would just get a fine. He has no carryover points. He has no.
Oh, he's so good.
He's like, literally so clean. Like, he has nothing going, and they were just like, 2 weeks. I was like, oh,
I know.
Okay.
So who do we think's gonna? Oh, it's probably on the team list when I get it up.
Well, Verrills is still listed, but I assume Marge will come in at 9.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
He was in the listed in the extended bench, but I think with Verrills confirmed out, it will be Marge in at 9.
I was like, unless they put Walker on and then move Lamb or something to 9.
I don't think they will.
I haven't seen much of Lamb. Have we seen much of Lamb in 9?
Not really. He's played a little bit there, but I think that they will stick with Marge.
Yeah, I like Marge.
Yeah, I don't mind him.
And front rower, Takiaho.
Now that we're best mates with his mum. Nah, his fam.
His fam that we didn't ask for a photo or even... Did we even talk to them?
Yeah, we talked to his mum because she said that we stole her seat.
That's right. Well,
and then
actually,
we were like comparing tickets, and we were like, no, we didn't. And she's like, I swear you did. And we're like, oh, we're really sorry, but we can't fit off the end, and this is where our tickets go to. And she was like, oh, it's fine.
Shout out to Bobby Law for getting us those tickets. Like, that was a great day. Great afternoon.
That was a great day. Sorry, continue. You're saying Takiaho.
Yes, Takiaho is out as well. So that's a leg injury or something. So
yeah, he's been carrying that for a while.
But he's just set to miss this week. So
yeah,
because obviously we'll go win and then win, and then Sam Verrills will meet us in the grand final, and
yes,
you and I will be on winners cheers, or well, actually you won't. We won't be together. We'll have to do a Zoom.
No, I'll be back home.
You will be home for the grand final.
Back in Maxwell, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah. Duh. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
I can't even see you anyway, so we'll have to do a Zoom regardless.
Yeah,
we might FaceTime. The last one that I had, because you took all mine. It's just something I was watching on NRL 360 yesterday, that Billy Slater has been offered a 3-year coaching deal with the Queensland Maroons. So I wanted your opinion, which is what they were talking about on the show. So does a good player or a great player, does that mean that they become a great coach?
I don't think automatically. I think there's heaps of great players that wouldn't become great coaches, but I think Billy Slater. I'm thinking of Bill. Sorry, I've got Chix players on my mind. When it came out, I was like,
fine. That's fine. That's completely understandable.
I was thinking of the center. Anyway, no, Billy Slater. I think he will. He's had a lot to do, I know, with like Ryan Pappenhausen and Nico Hines.
Mentoring and stuff.
Mentoring. I think he actually is really good at getting his point across. I think he's really good at like working with a team. So I think he would be a really good coach, but I definitely don't think you're automatically a good coach if you're a good No,
100%. It also depends on your roster, and like being a head coach, it's more than just mentoring like one player or whatever. Like you've got to deal with the ups and downs of everyone's life, like who's in a good mood, who's in a bad mood, who needs to be hugged, who needs to be yelled at or whatever, plus all the other rigmarole that goes on with it. So I just thought that was an interesting topic. So he hasn't accepted anything as of yet, but the yarn that they were saying on NRL 360 basically was Mal Meninga would potentially be a mentor for him, but then there's this uproar because he's the Australian coach as well. So it's like, well, that's sort of, you're not meant to be, you're the Australian coach, so you leave that.
There's issues, I guess, but there's also like, you just want to be able to.
I'd be mad, but like come Origin time, like Slater versus Freddie. Like they probably played against each other. And
I think there was a lot of talk about it being a bit of a like coaching crew and having like Cam Smith and Thurston kind of up there helping out as well, which I think would be super good for them. Not that we want them to go well. I've even got
we don't want them to go well, but that also circles back to the initial question where it's like, you've got 3 really good ex-players as like head coaches or running the show or whatever, but does that essentially mean that they're going to be a good team? Are they going to get the biggies? And I know it's only 3 games, so it's not as much pressure as what the other head honchos are.
And that's the thing. I think with Origin coaches, it's not so much X's and O's kind of stuff. It's more just that like getting the team together, getting them hyped, getting them ready. So, I guess being in that environment so many times, those boys, that they would have some idea of how to get people up and about. So I think it could be good.
No, like I completely agree with you, but I just thought that was an interesting point, and it'll be interesting.
Yeah, because I did see Paul Green has stepped down. Paul Green, was it?
Yeah, so positions vacant. Slater possibly. We might get the call up. Who knows?
They'd want to be paying well because I don't really want to coach against New South Wales.
I don't really want to do it either. So
if they're paying a lot, maybe.
If they're paying a lot and like we get to go to Queensland and like live it up in Queensland, like. Yeah. Why wouldn't we do it? Actually, why are we even like going against it now? Well, that's all I had about our notable mentions. Should we look back on week 1 of the 2021 GF? I was waiting for one of us to say this.
I thought for a second, we've just both cracked open a super dry, and I thought, why not share the question with you? So my super dry question today is seeded, Dijon, or hot English? Discuss.
It'd have to be seeded. I do not like hot English mustard at all.
No, I love Dijon though. I love Dijon and I love seeded.
Yeah, done.
That's it. That's all I had.
I remember I was in France, I think, and I ordered an omelette and they had like all these little condiments and shit on the table, and one was yellow and I thought, mustard. I don't know. I might have been hungover. Anyway, I wiped it all over my omelette and then bit into it, and it was fucking like hot mustard. It like ruined my whole breakfast. I couldn't eat it.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
I just followed mine up, but I remember what it is, and you're probably going to be no help to me. But it was like, are party pies just for parties?
No, I think you can eat them anytime.
Any occasion. I love all shapes and sizes of pies, and I will eat them at all times.
I don't think there's any, like, what's the difference between eating a big pie and a couple party pies? Like, just rip in.
Yeah, you don't have to be at a party. You don't have to be celebrating. You can be celebrating just life in general and being alive.
Yes. Should we quickly touch on who this episode is brought to you by?
Yeah, we should actually. So it's not actually super dry.
No, not super dry, although super dry often gives you hangovers, and what's better for a hangover than a bender mender? And this episode is brought to you by Dr. V Energy Drinks. Yeah, so basically they're just all natural. They've got 50% less sugar, literally 50% less sugar than
What did you say? Sorry?
50% less, literally, than all other energy drinks. So your standard ones that's like
just packed full of shit.
Also, I feel like there's been lots of yarns lately about like, because there's a lot of anti-vax rhetoric going on and they're just saying, trust your doctors, they know the best. And this is literally Dr. V. So why are we not trusting them for our energy?
So we've been approached by doctors and Dr. V was the one that sort of flagged us. And when they started coming at us with yarns about 50% less sugar in energy drinks that cure hangovers and are great for hydration and have heaps of fruits and berries and stuff in them that you wouldn't normally eat, we're like, I don't know. I know a couple of people. I know 11 people that will want to hear about this.
Oh, and I just think if I'm going to trust anyone, it's going to be a doctor. How many other energy drinks are doctor something? None of them.
None. There's V, but
V.
This is like the smart cousin of the crappy V that has jam-packed full of shit that you don't want to put in your body.
Heaps of sugar, no sea buckthorn berries, none of it. So I don't know.
No pine extracts. It's just sparkling energy, 50% less sugar. And actually, that rings a bell. 50% less sugar. So what's half of 50, Peter?
25, is it?
Yeah, so it's 25. And I'm pretty sure when we were having that same old yarn with Dr. V, they said that they'll give us and our listeners 25% off their order if they use the code FFF at their website, drv.com.au.
I did remember that yarn, actually. I'm glad we remembered to say that. Otherwise, the listeners would be missing out.
The listeners would be missing out on 25% off. Like, you don't get that every day. Like, you don't get that at your normal doctor's surgery, do you?
You definitely don't get it at your normal doctor's surgery.
And the good thing about Dr. V is you don't have to go through Medicare. You don't have to get your healthcare card out or anything. Like, it's just automatic.
It's not like you pay full and then you get a 25% rebate. It's like 25% off to start with, because it's always a stuff around them taking your money and then giving it back and all that nonsense.
Forget Medicare in general. Like, you just put in FFF, 25% off. You can peruse their website for all their different drinks. There's 4 drinks. So there's Siberian Rush, Brainstorm, Bender Mender, and Karma Karma. You can have a look on there and decide what you want, and you can be better, which is Dr. V's slogan, which is what we've taken under our wing and we implement into our lives every day.
Yep. Shout out.
Yeah. So visit drv.com.au. All right.
Righto.
Should we? Yeah, we'll talk about finals week 1.
Yes.
All right, Petey, Friday the 10th of September, aka your big day out.
Yes. Yep. I was blind by the time this game happened. Like, literally blind. All I remember, I'll give my couple points and then you can say yours, because mine are very limited.
Well, I think mine pretty much was touched on in the first game.
Mine was saying pretty much Manly just struggled with possession. Like, they dropped it so many times. Morgan Harper, who is normally so reliable, had one of the greatest shockers of all time.
Worst games of his life, the poor fella.
Poor kid. And then, I just thought DCE was just like, I often think, which is probably rude, and don't take this too personally, Daly, but I feel like he tries to do the young, hot, flashy stuff, which hasn't really been a part of his game. Like, he's
been watching Sam Walker's highlight.
Yeah,
reel.
He's been around for this long, and I feel like he's seen Sam Walker and Reece Walsh kind of pop onto the scene this year, and he's like, I can do that. And he kind of tries to pull it off, and it's like, just stick to what you're good at, mate. Stick to your 40-20s, stick to your clearance kicks, your bloody hands.
Stick to running down the sideline after Garrick fucking sets you up. Like,
yeah.
That's all you need.
I thought that was...
Do less.
Yeah. My other note just said too pissed to know.
I was also pretty drunk when this game was on. But as we touched on in the notable mentions, their big players just really stood up. And like you touched on, Petey, like, they are big game players. Like, I'm pretty sure they've almost been in, like, I might be making this up, but we can spread it anyway. They've pretty much been in like a final series for like at least the last 10 years.
I think that the stat is they've made the prelims, which is like next round of finals.
Yeah.
For the last 7 years. For the last 7 years, they've made the prelims.
That's fucking crazy, eh?
Yeah, they're just so successful and they get it. And literally, like, as much as we sort of sometimes like Munster annoys us when we play him, but he is so good. Like he just gets it.
He annoys you, even though you're mates.
Yeah. Well, your mates are normally the ones that annoy you the most.
Yeah, true. Brooke Walker, shout out.
But yeah, no. I think honestly, I was shocked. I honestly thought that Manly were going to put up more than a fight than this, but Storm did so well to shut them down, and they kind of like they were just doing the thing. They weren't setting anything up for Tommy. They just wanted Tommy to do it.
Yeah, and Tommy was just absolutely ambushed by them. Like they were dragging that motherfucker out by like over the sideline and stuff. It was like, holy shit, this is depressing.
And it's like, if you're going to just give it to Tommy to do everything, then Storm's just going to shut down Tommy, and it shuts down your whole game.
Yeah, Pappenhausen had a field day as well. He had a great game. And just, yeah. I don't know. Like you said, Storm are going to be very tough to beat. I hope that
they still had no Addo Carr too.
Exactly as well. He got in a bit in trouble for being too much of a hype boy on the sideline as well, which was kind of funny.
I love to hear that though. Yeah, he got kicked off being ball boy from like hyping up too much.
I know, it's such a carry on, eh? But I'm hoping Manly are feeling super depleted, and obviously we've got all these hot young throbbers and just our second grade team basically, and we put them to the fucking sword. Did you have anything else?
Battle of the Beaches next week. No, that's all for that game. Obviously having Addo Carr back in will help them again. But yeah, just I feel like Hughes and Munster work so well together.
Hughes is going to be so missed. Like, I mean, like he's going to be a mad pickup for Cronulla, and obviously our boy Fitzy's taking over the head coaching role there. I hope he rips and tears there. I'm sure he will, but oh man, he's just. I love him. I think he's a great player.
Yeah, he's excellent.
But then you've got the likes of Pappenhausen too, who's just like an absolute gun, a freak.
Yeah, he's really like hit his straps like right in time for finals, because obviously the last few weeks he hasn't been quite there, but now he's ripping. Literally
on this show, we spoke about him coming back and not sort of being in that same playing sense or whatever, like where he has been ripping and tearing. And then he went and scored a hat trick the next week.
Yeah, I think everyone was concerned that he just like didn't have enough time to get back to his like old self, but he's done it. So good on him.
Good on him. Good on you, Pappy. But when we play him in the GF or whenever we meet, do less.
Yeah, do way less.
Do way less. All right, game of the round. So Friday afternoon, I don't know whether you were in or out of your cold bath by this stage, but our guys took on the Titans in a famous win. And we got the bickies, and we're progressing into week 2.
Yes, I was well and truly out of the bath by this point. I made sure I was there for the 5:40 time slot.
I didn't know whether you might have set up a TV or something in the bath and just.
I was in the room by then. I'd eaten some chips, cheese, and gravy, and a few Zupa Dupas, and I was good to go.
You poor bugger. I feel for you. Obviously, Ikavalu having some of the best and worst performances in a game, as he normally does.
I was actually having this conversation with Ikavalu. Like, we both love Ikavalu. We all love Ikavalu. Like, he's such a lovable character. And he does some amazing things. But, like, yeah, he is good for an error. And some very costly.
Yes, especially when front rowers are scoring meaties under the dot, and it's like, what the fuck?
Oh, I was like, bro, we didn't even care if you made meters. All you had to do was just pull it into your arms and just jump on the ground if you had to.
Catch the ball. So Ikavalu, obviously.
He was hurt though, obviously, which obviously didn't stop his catching ability, but he did hurt his ankle in it, which I think is what he's had recurring issues with. Yeah,
he got the old strapping tape over the boot. Sort of job.
Yeah, and I could tell after he wasn't quite 100%, although he did do that try he scored. He like ran down the sideline, and he's normally like one to leap over and do a sort of leaping put down.
He was very conservative when he jumped.
He just like, I don't know if he didn't have a lot of power in his ankle, but anyway, he just charged through and literally bumped Jaden Campbell so hard and just put it down. Like Jaden Campbell just flew off him, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, he looked like a little baby flying through the air then. But that's what I wanted to touch on. Like the first 20 minutes was like good, honest football. Like Ikavalu's try wasn't until the 22nd minute.
Yeah. It was a hard game. There was like a lot of mistakes from both teams though.
Actually, let me get that up because
because I remember thinking like, I remember a few weeks ago, I was bagging, like, not bagging, but like the Warriors versus someone. And I was like, both teams had 13 errors. That's ridiculous. But I reckon Chooks and
12 to the Chooks and 13 to Titans.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was like, we're one of those teams this week.
Catch the ball. Yeah. Well, look, we don't really want to touch on it too much.
No, but I thought like Radley had like literally a blinder. He played so freaking well. He was just like efforts after efforts. He had that little breakthrough. He nearly scored the try. I think Sami maybe.
Oh God, that was a big hit. And like you could see he freaking like busted his shoulder doing it. But oh my God, that was a hooicher if you've ever seen one.
He is insane. Like he had such a good game. And I don't know if you could tell, but like literally 20 minutes in, obviously they'd been playing some hard footy, but everyone's faces were bright red and they were sweating to the max. Like they were up in Townsville. Townsville, yeah.
Like Mackay or...
No. They're at Townsville.
Queensland Country Bank Stadium, yep.
Yeah, they're in Townsville and they were all sweating. And you could tell by the last like 20, the Chooks were rooted. And it was because...
The humidity.
Well, the humidity also, but we had obviously Sam Walker on the bench who didn't come on until the last 9 minutes. And we also had Talkiaho was on the bench. He was a bench spot and we never used him because he was injured. So we actually had like a lot less rotation. That's
bizarre.
Yeah. So like when Egan Butcher and Fletcher Baker and that came on, they never came off again. They came on after like 20 minutes and then they never came off. I don't think a lot of them. So they had a pretty hard game with limited subs. But at the same time, I'm glad we carried Sam Walker on the bench because we needed him.
Oh, my God, yes. As you said, clutch player of week one. I don't care what anyone says. You can come at me. Clutch player of week one. Wep of the week. Oh, Radley also Wep of the week.
Radley's Wep of the week for me, I think.
Yeah, Radley also Wep of the week. Loved that. I know we're not really touching on the Titans too much, but I loved seeing James go over. Been a bit of a drought for him. He hasn't scored in a few weeks.
Yeah, off the little flick from Rads.
Yes, my Wep move onto another Wep captain. I loved the photo that Fox League put up as well, and it was the one of when Josh Morris scored his, and he's doing like the full like and then it's like that.
And then there's a little kid
doing it as well.
Yes, that was so cool. Good. I know. It was like Josh Morris scoring tries is fun for everyone or something like that.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. I also thought Josh was a bit unlucky. There was one and they ended up challenging it. He was like running towards the ball. I think Tupou might have been under the ball. He was like running towards it, never changed his line, was just running straight, was looking up the ball. He was running directly towards the ball. And him and his Titans player just clashed.
Collided, yes.
And then they were like, he challenged it because he was like, I never changed my line, I promise.
And he was looking at, you could see in the video rep, he like never took his eyes off the ball. He never looked.
And he also never changed direction. He was just running straight towards the ball, eyes up. And they're like, he changed his line. I was like, where?
His eyes literally never come off the ball and it's in slow-mo, like as we've touched on oodles of times. It comes in slow-mo.
I know, and they still lost the challenge, so that was pretty disappointing, I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like obviously we love the Chooks, but yeah, I think even Teddy came out after Robbo probably said the same thing. Like they definitely just had too many errors and we can't go
It was friggin' frustrating.
And the amount of times like a Titans player was able to kind of skip away from like 3 or 4 defenders was just like probably not acceptable. It always took like Radley, Crichton or Jared Warrior-Hargreaves to come like a Titans player would skip. He'd skip away from like 1 or 2 or 3 and it would always be one of our big like enforcers would just come in and just fold them after it. I was like, thank goodness they're there.
Look, second grade, this is how you do it. We definitely don't need that leading into Tommy Turbo coming off a loss.
But you learn, you live and you learn.
So hopefully they've got like a little bit of a winner's high, but they've also learned a lot of like lessons as well.
Learn a lot of
that would have been like that was stressful as fuck. That last like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I know. I was like, it was so stressful. After that Jared Wallace try, I was just like, are you kidding me?
Well, that was the last one. And oh my goodness. That like I was just like on the edge of the lounge, eyeballs popping out of my head. My hands were sweaty. I had no fingernails by the end of the game.
I was like, I am hungover. I am in no state to deal with this nonsense.
You don't need all that cortisol running through your body.
Oh, I was so stressed, honestly.
All right, well let's move on to the next game. So I don't really know about you, but I was pretty blind. Like, so this was my turn to be blind.
Well, the problem was I was blind the first night, and then it was all the stress from the Chooks game, and I actually fell asleep at halftime of the Panthers Rabbits game.
You did chime in saying that you fell asleep. So obviously, look, we'll talk you through what happened in the Penrith game. So Bunnies defeated the Panthers, like shock loss.
Yeah.
16-10. Obviously, everyone thought that Ivan Cleary and his Westies were gonna come in and rip and tear, which they
Without
had
a trail, I thought for sure. Oh no! Keep talking.
All right, we've got some technical difficulties on Peter's end, but anyway, I'll spin you through what's going on at the late game. Basically, like Peter said, without Latrell, we thought the Bunnies were going to have no strike force, no, I don't know, attack or pizzang. But after all their rested players came back, they definitely ripped and teared. Like, it wasn't a very high-scoring game, but
No.
the forwards for South Sydney just absolutely dominated the middle. Like, Tom Burgess, I'm pretty sure that's the Burgess brother that's still left. He was sensational. Like, and this is literally just coming off replays that I've watched because I honestly don't remember the game. He was sensational. Who else was there? Jai Arrow as well. Like, they were just ripping and tearing through the middle. Oh, I can't hear your headphones. We've lost Peter. But yeah, Panthers definitely did not rise to the occasion. Also, their coach, Ivan Cleary, coming out and carrying on about what Wayne Bennett had said in the press. I'm not sure if Peter knew about that, but I've lost you. I can't hear. We'd gone through without any bed shits. No, I can't hear. Bloody period pain Zoom meetings. Oh, don't make me do the show by myself.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I can't hear you, but
you can't hear me. Sorry, everyone.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, thank fuck.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can't hear you now.
What? My sound might be a bit worse. I've had to unplug the microphone.
Well, we're just gonna leave it on whatever settings it is, and hopefully that little bed shit doesn't throw us off our game. So obviously, did you hear about when Ivan Cleary Wayne Bennett came out talking about the blocking plays?
Yeah, so from what I know, Bennett spoke privately to the refs, which I think is something that's quite
common.
Standard. That's quite standard. They just talk to refs about. It's like when they come up to the captain before a local footy game and they say, anything you want us to look out for, and you say, yeah, this team always is off their feet at the ruck. Like, it's just like that. So I don't think there's a big issue there. But then Ivan Cleary leaked that Wayne Bennett said that, and then Bennett was like, yeah,
get over it, bro.
Whatever. And then basically just put him on the bitch.
100%. He Ivan just not like a big game player like Wayne, Trent, and like just doesn't get like thrown in the.
I think that's probably why I think that you need to be able to deal with situations, and to be honest, he hasn't really proven himself. Like,
win a comp, bruh.
Yeah, like they were, and this I heard someone else saying this, like, imagine now that they've had 2 seasons essentially. Like, I know they weren't the minor premiers this year, but they had some difficulties just having so many Origin players in. But imagine going for 2 years being essentially like one of the top teams, so strong, and just having nothing to show for it. Like,
I know, it's like a little bit pathetic. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically Wayne also just showed that he's a fucking mad coach. Like, he's so good. Like, and he gets finals also.
He gets finals footy. Hats off to the fort. Again, I don't really like rabbits that much, but hats off.
I like Wayne as a personality though. Like, I enjoy.
He's almost like, because when I was, again, sorry to bring back NRL 360, but Benji Marshall was talking about. They asked Benji Marshall, about I've got
Benji Marshall.
I've got Roosters players on the mind.
Both of us just bringing up these like low-key Roosters players that aren't even thing instead of these like NRL legends.
Sorry, Benji Marshall, 2005 premiership winning player. Now I've forgotten what I was saying. They were talking about the interview, and he was like, "Nah, nothing was like said about it, blah blah blah." But he really put on like a Clint Eastwood act. I mean, he looks like Clint Eastwood, doesn't he? He deserves a fucking Academy Award after that. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. He does. But like he does, and he's like got such a dry personality as well, which is like hilarious. I love that.
I love it. I love like his press conference interviews and stuff. Like he's so just like
Joker, but subtly, I guess.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. But yeah, that was obviously I didn't really watch the game, so I don't have a huge amount to say.
Either. I could get my dad to jump on, but he was pretty pissed off about it. So
yeah. But yeah, they're gonna have to prove themselves now against who they got.
Para.
So that'll be a good game.
That will be a good game. And I guess it's the same with Manly. Like, do they come back and redeem themselves, or do they just fucking fail?
Yeah, exactly.
Like they have been. But now this was the only game that I can like pretty much remember for the full 80 minutes because I wasn't like blind.
Yes.
So our Steel City boys took on the Parramatta Eels and unfortunately lost in a 28-20 win to Parramatta. A bit of a controversial game, which we touched on in the notable mentions.
Yeah. And we also already talked about like Moses really stepping up. I also thought that Fergo stepped up. Like Fergo's been playing so good since he came back.
Another double.
Yeah.
Fergo, as we said, yeah, they were definitely the better team on the day. I tell you who I thought was a little bit and off was Gutho. Like his first kick went, like, into the grandstand basically.
Yeah, I thought the same about Gutho.
And then, yeah, it was a little bit off, but I think he's sort of carrying some sort of niggly injury as well. Not entirely what it is, so you can check that out yourself. But yeah, look, as a proud Novocastrian, I secretly was hoping Newcastle would get up. But yeah,
I was in a way, but the reason I wanted Para to win was because I just think in terms of the next stage, I don't think if the Knights won, there was no way whoever they versed, they were ever going to beat them kind of thing.
Imagine them against Penrith.
That's what I mean. Whereas Eels beat the Knights, Eels now versus Panthers, I think they're actually it'll be a good game and there'll be a shot. And I'd rather just watch good games. I think Knights
you don't want to see like an annihilation.
No, and Knights would have got annihilated if they made it any further. Let's be honest, they're just not there yet.
Yeah. I completely agree. Look, Ponga sort of I don't know, Ponga's a really good player, but and I don't want to bag on him too much, but he's really good in attack. And I think I was talking to a friend of the show, Brittany Sager, about this. He attacks like he's playing for the Storm, but then defends like women's rugby sometimes.
That's kind of the way of the flashy fullback though, in a way. I think the Ponga, Walsh, Jaden Campbell, they're all kind of that electric attack, but their defense is a bit
dog shit.
Yeah. Whereas Teddy and stuff, you might say, oh, he's not quite as electric as Ponga, but he's still amazing in attack, and his defense is spot on.
It's top notch as well. Look, Ponga set up that try in 40 seconds or whatever.
I actually hadn't even flicked over to onto the footy yet, and I was like, they've scored.
I know. Me and Mum were sitting out here watching it and having a few drinks, and yeah, he went over the white line, and we're like, what the fuck just happened? We just turned it on.
Yeah. Well, that's also the fact that Tuala got a hat trick. I was like, good on him.
Yeah, that was mad. So I think I read another post maybe by Roasty or Rugby League Guru or something. None of the other Knights greats, like Johnsy or Badiris or anything, have ever scored a hat trick in a finals game. So
wow, that's pretty cool.
So that's cool for him, even though we did let the penalty try in.
Yeah.
But that's all right. Don't look. like we said,
I mean,
probably always
the
gonna win.
essence of a penalty try is the fact that you stop someone from scoring when they were definitely going to score. So it's not like they would have scored if he didn't do that anyway.
Yeah, I think I had to try and explain to Mum what a penalty try was, and I was explaining it as I was on the Black Marlins, and I'm like, I don't know how many of these I had because I don't even think I understand what I'm saying.
I also was talking about Fergo before, but I don't know if you saw him, I forget which player it was, but one of their players leg twisted him hard in the tackle.
I think he got 2 weeks for that as well.
Yeah, well, good. I thought that was actually super irresponsible.
A crocodile roll or a crocodile.
Yeah, you had him down and then you just intentionally twisted his leg. That was purposely to hurt him, I think.
Another one who got the scrapping tape over the boot. I don't think I've ever seen that, and I've seen it twice on the weekend.
Oh, really? I think I've had that done.
I must have stiff, good ankles, good honest ankles.
Yeah. The only other thing I had was that the forwards really smashed it.
Did you see?
Also the Ray Stone made 5 million tackles.
Yes. Actually, sorry, it's coming back to me now. Him and Regan Campbell-Gillard absolutely
on a mission.
Ripped and teared. Did you see when I think it was in the first half, Regan Campbell-Gillard made 3 enormous hits in a row. And I was like, holy shit, big boy.
Yeah, he was ripping. He played so well. Him and Paulo both had great games.
Did you see Ponga fly over the top of the try celebration?
Yes. And axed himself over the other side. That was funny.
That was hilarious. And you could kind of see Connor Watson turning around to be and he kind of looked concerned, as if
yeah. Then he looks down at the ground at him oh.
He's are you okay? That was so funny.
It was a good
work.
I liked that.
So obviously, all right. So that was the week that was. We're smashing through it today. So congratulations to Storm, Roosters, Bunnies, and the Eels all progressing into week 2 or the prelims. Do we normally go into something before this, or do we?
I think we might. The S&M?
No, we go into the Chix leaderboard. Sorry, I don't have notes, so I'm can't remember what order we do it.
I've erased the fact that the Chix leaderboard exists out of my memory because I don't want to think about it.
We've figured out, listeners, that the Chix leaderboard is still going ahead because it's allowing us to tip the remainder of the season. So we're whatever, let's try and claw our way off the bottom, even though you've managed to claw your way back down.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
so
it's an unpredictable week.
Look, we'll run. I only got 1. Far out. I was the loser from last week. I only got 1 from 4.
I only got 2.
You only got 2. Look, no one got a perfect round, but look, we've got our seasonal snitch, Liz K, on 156, Tar with 2 H's on 152, and third place, Brittany, spelt normally, on 152 points as well. So, look, the race is still on, I guess. And I guess it's
Would you say that Brittany spelt normally? I feel like hers is one of the most bizarre ways to spell Brittany.
Look, it's BRITTNI, but compared to everyone else's usernames, it's other than yours, you've got the boring fucking first name, last name.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know we were making up nicknames.
Yeah, I'm Crashly.
Yeah, well, apparently.
Should be
I was late to the party.
That's all right. Look, I feel like it's a 3-legged race just between those 3. I'm going to keep putting my tips in because, we do this podcast.
It's fun.
Why not? But yeah, look, that's the podium, and unless someone pulls a big move with the 2 games that are played this week, do you still get double points if you get 2 from 2?
Surely not. Surely not. I would be so outraged if you get double points for a two-game round.
Oh, well, look, we've still got a couple of shows left in us, so we'll report back on that. Surely one of the 10 gets it. All right, let me just fix up this roadcaster, and then we will go into that segment that you were just.
I'm so sorry, I jumped the gun.
Come on.
Alrighty, Star and Marge, S&M, brought to you by Rihanna every single week, because we're here every single week, ripping and tearing, bringing you all of the great news, which includes who we personally think is a Star and a Marge. Now, a Marge, for anyone that's new to the show, is a bit of a dickhead who we don't enjoy their company or just something silly in particular. Now, Petey, do you want to kick us off with your star?
My star this week goes to Victor Radley, the great. He had such a good game. He literally just stepped up, and he plays every game like it's the most important game he's ever played. And I just think it's like the best attitude. I know. And he's so fit. Like, he just keeps going, even though he's buggered. And I just like the amount of times that he was pretty much the only player that was chasing so hard on the ball. And that's why he gets so close to so many tries. Like, he chases through so hard, and he's like a forward. Like, it's not, yeah.
He's also, I think you're forgetting like the most important thing. He's also so freaking hot as well.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a bit of a larrikin. I just think like, yeah.
Victor Radley of getting kicked off a plane for being too pissed fame. I'll segue into my star, keeping the same jersey on, and we have touched on him several times in this podcast today and in this podcast previously, and it is Sam Walker.
Yeah.
Famous for the last 8 minutes coming on, try-saving tackle. Goal.
Well, I think my star laid the platform, and then your star iced the cake. Like,
exactly. So we're basically building a cake with the Roosters at the moment.
Yeah.
We're building a delicious cake, and
it tastes like grand finals.
It tastes like you put that perfectly. That tastes like grand finals. I love it. Yeah, look, those two players in particular have just been stars all season, all friggin' season. I've thoroughly enjoyed watching them. And I reckon we'll rip and tear this weekend. Well, hopefully. Otherwise, I'll be super drunk and pissed off. Who's your Marge for the week?
My Marge this week goes to the match review committee, who has been featured a few times for not allowing Sam Verrills to play this week or the next week after that.
They've also been a season regular on this show.
Yeah, they get the Marge Award quite often, which is insane.
Yeah, they've been repeat offenders, and I don't know. It's just it's
maybe it should start to be the Marge review committee.
Yeah, I don't know. I get so worked up every time we talk about it because it's generally a Chooks player that's been sent there, and that's why
we have been very harshly done by the Marges this year.
Well, when I sent you Verrills or Takiao the other day, I'm like, fuck, we've had like such a tough year. Actually, you know what?
I had a rough trot.
I haven't even picked a Marge, so I'm gonna just wing it and say that the Roosters season for injuries and suspensions is my Marge.
Yeah,
leading into week 2, I'm hoping that I can get that off my chest. I can give it to the universe, throw it out, and then we come out and absolutely whoop Manly.
Yes.
So off the back of that yarn, let's move into Friday. So 2 days from now, the 17th of September, 7:50 p.m. at BB, which I'm guessing is like Bluebird or something. Oh no, BB Print. Sorry, I can't read that.
Are you trying to figure out where it's being played?
Yeah, it's in Rocky, isn't it?
No, it's in Mackay.
Oh, Mackay. But I knew Mackay was something.
Yeah, my sister's going to it.
Jealous. Mackay, beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, she's going to watch the Chookies.
Is she a Chook supporter?
The world as well. She doesn't really go for a team, but she does like the Chooks.
Did you want to shout out their team at all and just give your commiserations?
Oh, yes, last Friday.
Before we actually get into the real shit.
Yeah, last Friday, my sister Keely was playing in a semi-final, I believe, or maybe it was actually a final. I think it was the match to get into the grand final anyway. And she plays for Whitsunday FC, and they were taking on the Lions, who, were undefeated up until a week ago when they had to get put into the final to versus Keely's team, and they beat Keely's team 3-0. I did make a sign, and I wore it strapped to my chest all night. I was pulling come-ons all through the backyard as I was pissed, but it just didn't get them over the line. So commiserations to Whitsunday FC. Yeah, I think it needed to be bigger. I think that was the issue. But bad luck with Sunday FC. You'll get them next year. Fuck all the snitches that are in the grand final anyway.
Yeah, grand finals are shit, as we touched on last week, because then you can't get on the tins at 10 o'clock in the morning. Exactly. And yip and yahoo in the crowd. But anyway, yeah, commiseration Sundays, which is what you called them.
Yes, I've nicknamed them the Sundays,
Sundays. Congratulations on an excellent season. Like, getting to the prelims is fantastic. That's like a star move. We should have Pick them as
Should
the
have.
star.
Well,
Alright.
if they won, I would have made them the star.
Yeah, be better. Sundays.
Be better.
Alrighty, let's segue into rugby league.
Let's go.
So the Manly Sea Eagles versus the Sydney City Roosters in the game of the round. Like you said, the Battle of the Beaches. I freaking cannot wait. I'm like so excited. I'm like, is it Friday yet?
I know. Obviously, we've talked about Takiaho and Verrills being out, which is super disappointing. Also, Walker's still starting on the bench, which I'm actually not mad at. I think it's nice to let him have a bit of time on the bench, but I think he will come on a lot earlier this.
So do I. I completely agree. And do you know what I'm like fucking excited for, which is what like the whole Fox League are like pumping up at the moment? Teddy versus Tommy.
I
know.
know.
Arguably the two best fullbacks in the game, like going at it. And it's like, yeah, Turbo, who had a bit of a fucking bed shit last week and just got absolutely
I think he still
annihilated.
played well, but he just got shut down so easy.
Yeah, exactly. He got shut down. Like they found him out. They just pretty much pricked him up by the scruff of the neck, threw him over the sideline. With seasoned veteran who's played oodles of final football. That's another thing. Turbo hasn't ever won a finals game.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about the fact, like, can you remember a game where Teddy has just been like completely shut down?
No.
I can't.
No, neither. No.
So
there you go.
That's why he's the best. That's why he's the best.
So the spread it that we'll pump today from this episode is Teddy's never been shut down ever.
Ever.
Oh, look, he has been shut down, but like
on individual occasions, but not for like a whole game.
Not 80 minutes. Not an 80-minute shutdown. Lots of excellent lineups. Obviously, we've just touched on the fullbacks, Ikavalu and Ruben Garrick. Like,
yes,
Ikavalu, many a times a star in our eyes, but has Marge moves in him.
Well, they are carrying Copley as the 18th man, and I'm thinking there might be some doubt around Ikavalu with his ankle. So I'm assuming Copley is 18th man in the event that they need him to come on. Obviously,
did Copley injure himself like a couple of games ago or something?
No, Ikavalu just came back,
and he's been ripping and tearing.
Yeah.
So Nat Butcher's coming in for
Takiaho.
Yep. Sorry. And then Egan Butcher, Fletcher Baker on the bench for us.
I love Egan Butcher.
Yeah, he's fucking good.
He's such a gun. He's
so
good. I will say also Croker is back for Manly. He was out last week, but he's back this week.
Yeah, he's their dummy half, eh? Yep.
Yeah.
Look, I reckon this is 100% the game of the round, and I'm excited. I literally cannot wait. I'll be probably indulging in a few Cooper Vunus, and hopefully I remember the game so we can touch on it. Like next week's show should be so short because it's only 2 games we've got to talk about.
Yeah.
Unless we start talking about condiments and stuff again, like you don't know where
I might bring it in. Obviously I haven't circled it or underlined it. I've clearly gone the Chix.
I haven't even written it down. That's how serious I am this week.
Why would you need to?
I haven't even put pen to paper this week. Like it's like, come on, guys. Like for our season,
you don't have to.
Catalog listeners, you should know we don't circle the Chooks, and we're definitely not going for those fucking losers, Manly.
No.
Up the Chooks. Let's go. We came to play. I'm so excited. So there is only 2 games this weekend. So there's not much to talk about. So Saturday night, 7:50. So both games are 7:50. It's next week that the games are earlier due to the AFL. Do you watch the AFL at all? I watched a little bit of AFL on.
I put a few multis on, but I don't watch it.
Yeah, I see your multis and I don't understand it, but I actually watched a bit of AFL and got a little bit of guidance the other day, and I don't know whether it was just because I was drunk or whatever. But I'll tell you who's a friggin' honey, that dude that everyone froths on with the big mullet.
Yeah, that Baz Lenker or whatever.
Yeah, I found him on Instagram today and had a little bit of a peruse, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can see what everyone's. Yeah, I can see what everyone's doing here.
He's definitely a honey.
We might even actually, if I remember, we'll watch the AFL Grand Final potentially, but we might not. All right,
maybe you can just come with notes for that one.
Oh, look, if I'm not coming with notes today, like I don't know if I will be coming with notes for the rest of the season.
I'm not sure about, like, I don't know if I'm going to watch a whole, they go for a really long time.
I didn't watch the whole game.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the whole
like a
game.
very long game.
I watched like bits and pieces, like when we'd like switch between, and I'm like, I don't really know what's happening.
Yeah, because I would like, when I put my multis on, it'll be like, it starts at like 4 or whatever, and I swear I check it like fucking 7 and it's still going, and I'm like, what?
It's a long game. I don't get it, and I just know that dude from wherever he plays, he's hot. He's a hot
that's
boy.
True.
All right, let's talk about rugby league. Fuck the AFL.
Yes.
Panthers versus Eels. 7:50 Saturday afternoon. Yeah, I'm going the Panthers too, purely because, like, just their dominance. Like, I know we had a giggle that they haven't, like, got nothing to show for it, but I personally think that they will come back. They'll bounce back better than Parramatta.
I think they literally have to win this to not be a laughing stock, to be honest. Like, not to be like, but you know what I mean? Like, they've done so well for so long. If they come in and lose to the Eels now, I think that's probably too embarrassing for them.
But it's the same yarn with Parramatta as well. If Parramatta lose this game, they're pretty much in the same position, if not worse, than what they have been for the last.
I guess, but at least like they weren't
years.
They weren't the minor premiers. Like Panthers have been the minor premiers and then second the last 2 years. Yeah. So I think they have to. They've also got Edwards back, which is good for them. Although Crichton had a great game at fullback, which we didn't mention.
I didn't even know.
I only watched the first half, so I'm not sure how he went in the second half.
I watched bits and pieces and then the AFL. So, and Wolverine, but that was after it. Hopefully Gutho turns up. I'm hoping that Gutho has a little bit more spark about him because, look, I actually like Gutho. But as you said, Dylan Edwards, good player. Toto versus
I think it'll be a good game. That'll be such an interesting game. A Toto versus Fergo because it's such different styles of play. Yeah, it's like that Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger in Twins.
That's a good one. I like that. Cleary and Moses.
Yeah, I mean, Cleary should win that, but Moses was so up and about and Cleary wasn't, so you just never know.
So, look, stay tuned for that game, everyone, and obviously we'll hopefully touch on it a little bit more. I'm looking forward to it. I reckon we've got 2 really good games, and I don't think, like you said, if Newcastle had made it through, it potentially could have been an absolute blowout, a bitching of Newcastle. Oh, look, it's finals footy. Like, anything can happen. Obviously, we've seen that
last week.
Pretty much every game. Like, at least every game that we've reviewed, minus the Manly game, wasn't a complete bitching. Like, there was still good football played.
Yeah, which was good.
All right. Well, that's the week upcoming. So that's semi-finals. So that's to get us into the prelims where two teams, I should say, will meet Melbourne and the Bunnies. Who do we play if we win, when we do win?
When we win,
we play Bunnies.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we're that side of the draw.
Yeah, no, it is Bunnies.
Oh, win. Too easy. Well, that leads us into our Penthouse Multi. So what do we want to do this week, Petey? Do we want to...
we'll just maybe pick a couple legs in it. Pick a winner maybe, and we'll pick maybe fucking 3 legs or something.
Yeah, right,
Or should we pick like the big win, little win, and then a leg each?
Scorers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Fuck yeah. Right, I love this job.
The first game we have Manly versus Roosters. I was inclined to say Roosters 1-12.
Yep. So Roosters paying $3.50.
That's value. $5 for 1-12.
$5 as well. You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah. So I think that's good. And then we'll go anytime try scorer. Yep.
Hopefully we keep Tommy and Sub out of the picture.
Yes.
Who do you want? Who are you looking at?
I think I'm going to go with my same boy from last week, Satili Tupanua.
Yeah, we want to see him have a big game.
I want to see him bust over. Who have you got?
I know he's copped a lot of flack. I'm playing it safe, close to the chest, but actually, no. Actually, I don't want to pick Ikevala now in case he doesn't play. As soon as I said that, I was
just in case that
injury. He might have an ankle injury. I'm going to go Josh Morris.
Yeah, I like that.
Warm. All right, let's move into Panthers versus Parramatta Eels. So we've agreed on Panthers.
Yep. So the question is 1 to 12 or 13 plus?
13 plus is playing a lot. Not a lot, sorry.
Not much. Yeah.
Do
you reckon we go 1 to 12 then?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Nah, I think we take the value in the 1 to 12.
To be honest, we haven't had a great deal of luck. Surely one of these fucking bets have to come off eventually. All right, anytime try score.
I am going to go kick out.
Kick out? Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Vita Pangai Jr.
Yeah, good call.
Only because you did have a double over 2 weeks and obviously very quiet last week. Can't really tell you why because I can't remember. Hey, did you want to tell us what that comes to?
So that comes to $2,114.75, which...
Why is mine always $1 more than yours?
I have no idea, the dogs. Which is not too bad considering it's only over 2 games. So that's still a good little bit of cash that you're going to get if that comes on.
If you want a power play, you can, as we said, we go through Sportsbet. So Sportsbet, reach out if you ever want to jump on this show because we probably will be carrying this multi on our backs for the remainder of however long this show goes for.
Yeah. We might even start up some like penthouse multis over the off-topic season. Yeah, we'll get some a little bit wild ones going on.
I was like, let's start betting on like table tennis and stuff.
Yeah. We'll get it going.
Imagine if that's what we fucking win off.
It probably will be.
It'll be $50 or something off a fucking table tennis game.
Let me tell you, my AFL multis get way closer than my NRL ones do.
Really?
I have like 20 leg AFL multis and I'm only ever off by like 2 legs ever.
Well, the more legs, the less zeros you got to put on the bet slip. Well, that pretty much brings us to the end of the show. This has probably been our shortest episode in about fucking 20 episodes.
I guess that's what Finals Footy does. I feel like we've still been talking for a while.
Finals Footy makes you rip and tear into the afternoon. I am sitting outside in the smokers area at my house and I'm freezing cold.
Yeah, well, I'm like glad that it's probably good it's ending because I didn't turn my light on. I'm just getting natural light at the minute and it is starting to get darker and darker as we go on with the show.
I don't know if you can see the fucking ring light.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that gives me that natural glow. But yeah, now it's also dark outside and I've still got my sunnies on, which makes me look like a bit of a fuckwit. But anyway, that's pretty much us for a week. That's us for week 1 of finals. Congratulations to the teams that have made it through. Up the Chooks, obviously. I think we're at about 46% double vaxxed for New South Wales. So everyone please get their vaccinations and
yes, let's go.
What else do we normally yip and yahoo about? Buy Dr. V's, use the discount code because
FFF.
It's a doctor giving you health advice.
Talk to your friends, drink beers, answer the questions on the lids. Fucking, that's about it.
Vote in our polls.
Do your return and earn.
Oh, fuck yeah. If you can take anything from today's episode, it's don't let it build up. I know it's a good cash money kind of thing, but don't let it build up because it's only back-breaking work for yourself. And make sure you sanitize your hands after you do it as well because that shit is rank.
Yeah, it's so rank.
It's fucking rank. It's gross. This has been fun. I've actually thoroughly enjoyed this considering I was feeling a bit watching SAS having an anxiety attack. But look, Petey.
Brought me back to life.
As per usual, I've upped the chooks and fucking we'll be drinking winter's piss soon, baby.
Bloody oath.
Rightio. Well, that's us for a week. I'm about to cancel the Zoom without pressing the song. Let's hit it.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my